some tips for live interviews, the difference between live interviews and pre-record, okay? They're both, you know, quite similar. I prefer live because I can say exactly what I want and I know it's not going to get cut. But I also quite like pre-record because I kind of, you know, because it's done and it's out of the way. So, so always think about when you're, you know, get them to introduce you how you want to be introduced. So they'll want to say, like, I've gone on telly as, you know, Jason Pegler. They want to say, you know, former cannabis user, like, you know, bipolar sufferer, service user, things like that. But I get them to say, look, author of A Kind of Madness, CEO of Chipmunkapublishing. You know, I get them to say that, and I'm in the studio, and they're like putting on, like I've been sat in the BBC studio, and they're putting on the screen. I've seen what they're typing on the computer, and I said, no, I didn't say that, and I said I want it like that, and it's like I'm going on 30 seconds later, you know, but you know, most of the time don't have to do that. So if you get it in writing, describing how you want, but then if it says service user on the telly, then just say your name and the name of your book or your consultant or whatever, and just get out in the first sentence before you even speak. It works, you know, because like when we've done, like I've done this morning, that had a really good impact with sales when I did that. You know, it was about a 15-minute slot, and it was like in the advert before, it was hilarious. It was this is the man who the bipolar, you know, sort of maniac who had 24 eggs for breakfast or something, you know. So it's like it's as though I was some freak, like, and I was on with a psychiatrist, and I just spent the whole time saying, yeah, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm all right, you know, because I was fine. So, and he was there going, like, he was thinking, oh, I don't really know what I'm talking about. So he hardly said anything. So, you know, so it's just having the confidence, and if you pump yourself up before, you know, you're still giving value, you're still giving content, and let's face it, you're getting. You're a positive role model for mental health, aren't you? Because what we're doing is we're getting rid of the stigma by saying, look, we're okay. And like we say, that, you know, if you keep saying that you're okay, you're better, you get better. That's what happened to me. That's all I did. I just refused to accept the psychological prison of being diagnosed with manic depression for the rest of my life, and thought it was unfair. I thought, well, I'm not like that. That doesn't define me. That's not who I am. I've studied classics at university, Greek, you know, and I was trying to understand madness all the time, and then got into Foucault, reading Madness and Civilization, Madness as a Social Construct, understood it, but the reality was, well, you know, I'm still a manic depressive walking around in the real world, you know, kind of thing. But you know, I talked myself out of it, and that anyone has a potential to do that. You just talk yourself out of it, and that's the way in life. So. You know, and if you feel like you're cathartic and you just want to write a book or two every year, or 5 or 10 years, you know, 5 or 10 a year, or one every 5 or 10 years, Chipmunk will always be there to support you. You know, and I'm going to hand it over to my, you know, my kids, you know, generations. It's going to keep going as a, you know, because we are a new literary genre, giving a voice to people with mental illness. But if you decide, look, hang on a minute. Look, I've got so much better. I'm going to turn this into a personal I'm a personal development guru expert. You know, I'm going to, you know, it's like, what difference do we want to make? Remember that story I said about the alien? You know, we've passed away, we're in heaven, and we're going like, you know, what difference did we make in the world? So if you have to decide, you know, some people just want to affect, you know, help, you know, one person or 10 people. Some people want to have an impact on hundreds. Some people want to have an impact on thousands. Some people want to have an impact on millions. And then we'll, you know, we all have different, you know, aspirations. And then what I'm saying is to follow through with your dreams, live the life of your dreams. And